The desperate and shameless Democratic Alliance claims false victory again. I'm saying again because this is not for the first time. This is not for the first time that this desperate and out of sort Democratic Alliance claims false victory and easy victories. Of course, they're doing this shameless act out of desperation. The DA is doing this out of desperation. Now they're claiming this false victory about the reversal of the decision to increase VAT by 0.5%. The DA has been running over. This since morning is running all over the show in the media platforms. They've even had a press briefing to try and hoodwink people. To try and hoodwink people into believing to this blue lie. See what I did there? Blue lie. And that party is known as a blue party, the Democratic Alliance. Into this blue lie that the Democratic Alliance is responsible for the reversal of the decision to increase the VAT. The DA is lying. It is telling people that it is through its court processes. We saw, was it on Tuesday, where the court process took place. They are claiming that it is because of that reason that the Minister of Finance is withdrawing the decision to increase the value-added tax. And again, you must also appreciate the fact that the DA is doing this because people of South Africa continue to reject, and correctly so, the people of South Africa continue to reject this racist party called the Democratic Alliance, a party of apartheid, a party of coloniality. The DA is a part of colonialism. So people of South Africa continue to reject this political party. And in its disparate maneuvers, it now goes around. Looking for easy and even false victories and claim them as theirs. It is expropriating the victory that does not belong to them. When the voting process for the fiscal framework took place in Parliament, there was a 30-day period where these political parties which voted with the ANC, mainly the forefront being the Action SA, spoke about supporting this process, this report, this fiscal framework, with a condition that within the 30-day period, they are going to be making proposals to the Minister of Finance, proposals for finding alternative revenue streams to replace the increment to the VAT. So as to where this Democratic Alliance, this shameless party of apartheid, gets the nerve and the audacity now to run, to be all over the show, claiming a false victory. But what does this do as well? It also goes to show the contempt, contempt that politicians in this country treat the masses with. Firstly, the DA claims that it was doing whatever it was doing, the so-called opposition to the increment of VAT on behalf of the people. That's absolute rubbish. It is absolute rubbish because the DA, it is this very simple part that believes that the majority in this country, who by the way are the natives of this land, the Africans, should not get back their land. You cannot be claiming that you are for the people when you operate in a country that is dominantly African. And here we're not talking about Africans being settlers, but we're talking about Africans who are natives to this land, who suffered an injustice of colonialism, who were dispossessed their land, who were dispossessed of their own means of production, who were enforced to be slaves to the white people, the white minority that the Democratic Alliance represent. Then you as an organization, you are then opposed. We are opposed to the processes that seeks to redress, the injustices of the past. Then you want to come here and tell us that you are opposing the increment to the VAT. You were doing it on behalf of the people. Which people? It is the very same Democratic Alliance that believes that black workers in this country do not deserve decent wages, decent work and living wages. Go check the DA's history throughout. You will see that the Democratic Alliance has been vehemently opposed to any policy. It has been opposed to any policy position or proposal that seeks to uplift black people out of abject poverty. As we speak, the Democratic Alliance has been opposed to the simplest of things, the national minimum wage. The national minimum wage. And in South Africa, for those who do not know, we are not talking about the national minimum wage, which probably is 50 rand per hour. No. They were opposed to the national minimum wage when it was implemented in 2018, when it was merely 20 rand per hour. And they know very well that in terms of the demographics of this country and the historical context, it is not white workers. The white workers in this country have long surpassed the rates that black people are subjected to. So when the national minimum wage was proposed, it was mainly to try and for to ensure there's no confusion. That national minimum wage now just around 27 rand is still way too low. But the fact that when this proposal came about, it was to try and uplift black people. So you see the history. You'd see the history connected. The DA has been opposed to each and every policy proposition which seeks to uplift black people or which seeks to drive equality, to ensure that black people live a decent life. So now all of a sudden, DA wants to come here and insult our intelligence and claim that they were fighting the VAR, not the VAR actually, the VAT, the value-added tax, on our behalf. No, please. Please, some of us are not as gullible. Some of us are not as gullible as those black people who are in the DA. You know, it is such a shameful thing to do. You see. Then you go on the other side. You get the statement by the ANC, the ANC caucus in Parliament. They themselves are not different to the Democratic Alliance. They themselves are insulting our intelligence. They say they are welcoming this reversal of the VAT and all of that. They want to claim victory for it. But when the day when the parliamentary process took place to vote for this fiscal framework, when the DA, EFF and the MKP were opposing this, and even opposing the processes, the procedural processes that were followed, was it not the very same ANC MPs who were clapping hands? Who clapped hands when they won the vote, when the ANC won the vote to have the fiscal framework passed? So if today they want to tell us that they welcome the reversal of the VAT, the increment to VAT and all of that, Kanti, what is it that they were clapping hands to? What were they clapping hands for? This tells you again that this democratic process is just a nonsense. This thing called democracy is just absolute nonsense. You've got people who are members of parliament. We are told those people are there to represent us, but that's an absolute lie. Because we never elected them directly. Those are the people who are serving at the behest of their own political party, who have to toe the political line. Irrespective of whether they agree with what the political party is proposing, irrespective of whether they see the harm that their political party is causing, they were clapping hands. But now all of a sudden they want to tell us that no, they were opposed to it. I mean, what nonsense is that? Again, we are being insulted here. Our intelligence is being insulted here. No respect is being accorded to the masses of these people, or the masses of the people in this country, which are African people, the natives of this land. We are being insulted on the right by the Democratic Alliance. They continue to insult our intelligence. Then we've got the ANC, who's also insulting our intelligence. You see. So we need to be able to analyze through the smoke and mirrors. You see. We should refuse to be hoodwinked. And it becomes our duty, those of us who are enlightened, to be able to point out to some of these things. And then again, you'll see, even on this video, the insults that one will suffer from both sides. From the house Negroes who call Helen Zille Mama Zille. To hear what that black sister of ours, who the national spokesperson of the DA, called Mama Zille. Again, that just shows you that the denigration of black people. You see? Because white people would never refer to black people in such a manner, but we are expected. You see? It has even become the part of our culture that we just respect them in that way, the respect that they do not accord us. So I'm expecting the insults from them. White members of the DA, the black members of the DA who are house Negroes, and we must tell them in their face that they're house Negroes who are seeking up white approval. They've got no shame. Then I'm also expecting insults from the very voting folders of the African National Congress. Because they lack the intellectual and the ideological clarity. You see, whatever leadership say, when leadership goes left, they go left, go right. They no longer know what is right and what is wrong. So I won't be surprised that they themselves are going to subject me to the insults. I've grown a thick skin for that. You see. So, but it becomes our duty that we need to expose such things. You see. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe, remember to comment, like, and share. Thank you very much, guys.